I am a 31-year-old man who, until recently, believed he was on the brink of a beautiful future. I was engaged, just 3 weeks away from my wedding, ready to build a life with the woman I loved. We had plans, buying a house, starting a family, growing old together. It all felt like a dream. But in one night, that dream shattered. It started with something small, just a gut feeling, a whisper of doubt that refused to quiet. My fiancée's phone was off, and a message from her friends about her bachelorette party caught my eye. I don't know why, but I found myself digging, searching through social media, scrolling through messages exchanged between her and her friends. And then, like a tidal wave, the truth came crashing down. She had cheated. Not just harmless fun, not just a wild night of drinking and laughter, but something much worse. It wasn't just a strip tease, which I would have understood. No, she crossed a line I never imagined she would. She had been with the stripper, intimately, and later that night, she left with another man. The proof was right there, staring back at me from the chat logs between her and her friends. They had formed a small group, discussing the night's events, laughing about it, reassuring her that it was just one night, and that she shouldn't feel bad because it was her bachelorette party. I sat there, numb, unable to comprehend how the woman I trusted, the woman I had built my life around, could do this. The night dragged on, a cruel and sleepless torment. My mind raced with questions, with anger, with a deep, gut-wrenching sense of betrayal. When she woke up in the morning, she had no idea that my world had collapsed. She greeted me like any other day, even noticed I had been drinking and hadn't slept. She asked if, for 5 years, our lives were intertwined, filled with love, shared experiences, and a tight-knit circle of friends and family. Vanessa and I had met at a convention, bonding over a mutual passion, and what started as casual conversations soon blossomed into something deeper. She was the one who confessed her feelings first, and though I had never expected her to be interested in me that way, I realized I felt the same. Our relationship flourished, and despite coming from vastly different financial backgrounds, me from a modest, middle-class upbringing and her from a world of wealth and privilege, we built something solid. Our families got along, our friends blended seamlessly, and for years, everything seemed perfect. Then it all fell apart. I discovered her betrayal in the most unexpected way. Through a message on her phone while borrowing it to make a call. The words on the screen hit me like a sledgehammer, describing in crude detail how another man had enjoyed her body the previous night. My heart sank, but rather than explode in anger, I simply put the phone down. I looked at her, said nothing, and walked out the door. She didn't understand at first. There was no scene, no immediate confrontation. I spent hours wandering the city, lost in thought, my emotions a storm I couldn't control. When exhaustion finally took over, I crashed at a friend's place, barely able to process what had happened. The next day, I returned home to face Vanessa. I told her plainly, I would not be in a relationship with a cheater. That was it. I didn't want explanations, excuses, or pleas. I just wanted out. But she wasn't ready to let go. Tears streamed down her face as she begged for forgiveness, calling herself every vile name in the book. She hid herself in frustration, sobbing uncontrollably. But I felt nothing. The more she broke down, the more distant I became. Our neighbors heard the commotion and came to check, and that's when I took the opportunity to leave, escaping the overwhelming drama. I made arrangements to retrieve my belongings when she wasn't home, hoping that would be the end of it. But Vanessa wasn't done. At first, it was gifts, lavish presents arriving at my workplace, notes tucked into my mail, packages appearing at my door. Then it became more invasive. She always seemed to be wherever I was, turning up at places she shouldn't have known I'd be. It felt like she had someone watching me. I went to the police, but their response was chillingly blunt. One officer, in a rare moment of honesty, admitted there was little they could do. Her family's influence ensured that they wouldn't touch the case. I was on my own. Friends urged me to meet with her, to hear her out, to find closure. But I was exhausted. I didn't want closure. I wanted peace. I had no interest in hearing her voice, seeing her face, or revisiting what she had done. I just wanted to move on. With no legal recourse and no way to make her stop, I turned to the one person who might be able to help. Her mother. She had always been kind to me, and when we met, she didn't try to defend her daughter's actions. Instead, she listened. She held my hand as I told her everything, her expression shifting from concern to quiet sorrow. When I finished, she simply pulled me into an embrace, pressing a gentle kiss to my forehead. At that moment, I felt both embarrassed and deeply grateful for the unexpected comfort. She assured me she would handle it, that she would make Vanessa stop. For the next couple of days, there were still a few stray messages, lingering attempts at contact, and then silence. Days turned into weeks, and not a single unwanted message arrived. No gifts, no unexpected appearances. It was as if she had vanished, and for the first time in what felt like forever, I could breathe. The weight pressing down on my chest was gone. I no longer flinched at the sound of my phone, no longer checked over my shoulder when out with friends. Life felt lighter. The nightmare was finally over. I don't know what Vanessa is doing now, and to be honest, I don't care. I hold no hatred toward her, no lingering resentment. She made her choices, and I made mine. All I know is that I am free.